What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hopefully everybody can hear me all right. Hopefully everybody will come join us. Let me do some sharing and shit like that. Let me share on Twitter. Let everybody on Twitter know that we are live. What's up, y'all? Tahodi Cash, what's going on? We're gonna let everybody get in here. I'm about to promote real quick. I'm about to share the stream real quick. All right. What's up, Kyle? What's going on? Chris Alton, what's up? Cambo, what's up, man? What's going on, y'all? So we're gonna get into this in just a second. Let me. I'm just going to share this live stream real quick for the people who aren't here right now. I'm going to tweet it out real quick. What's up, y'all? Cambo Slice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, guys. Done. All right, let's do it. What's going on, y'all? What's up, Candyman? Neil, what's going on, man? What's up? So let me fill y'all in on something. So there's this little girl having a lemonade stand up the street from my house right now, and I swear to God, I've never had lemonade that good in my entire life. I don't know how this little girl made her lemonade, but I'm sending my girlfriend to go back and get some more and try to get the recipe. You know what I'm saying? On the low, because I'm talking about. I don't really like lemonade like that, but this little girl, she's got some skills when it comes to lemonade making. I'm not even gonna lie. Can't wait for NFL, bro. Me either, man. Me either. I need a win today. Yes, sir. Let's get it. Daniel D, what's up? Hey, with Vincent, what's up? Matthew, what's up? Called country time powder plus water. No, it was no, Craig. Trust me. I've had country time powder, and I'm telling you, this lemonade, like it had pieces of lemon in it. It had like little what do you call it? Little shreds of lemonade in it. So you could tell it was like fresh. Like she literally squeezed lemons in there. So I kind of need like the like whatever she put in there. I need to know. Michael Gray, what's up? Hey, with Vincent, what's up? You still on the high five as far as pitching? Yeah. So I'm still on Wheeler. I kind of like Anibal Sanchez a little more as SP2. I think that's kind of where I'm going to be going. Do you like a Baltimore stack? So we have a little bit of weather issues. We'll start off with weather. I hope you guys can hear me all right, by the way. Let me know in the comment section if you can hear me all right while I go over the weather. All right. So we do have a lot of weather issues. There's rain in damn near every game almost. Chicago, Detroit. The White Sox in Detroit is going to deal with weather there. I don't think a postpone is going to happen for Game 2, but I definitely think it's tough. New York, Baltimore has some thunderstorms. A postpone is likely in Baltimore today. So we got to keep an eye on that because obviously we're not going to want to play much from that game at all if that's going to happen. It looks like a postpone could definitely happen. So that's a little bothersome. But on the plus side, if it's not going to be postponed and they're going to play, the wind is blowing out to left field at 10 miles per hour. So bump to all the right-handed bats. Milwaukee, Pittsburgh. It's going to be an issue here too. There's a chance of delay in Pittsburgh. In Cincinnati, it's looking like there could be a slight delay in Cincinnati as well with the Angels-Cincinnati game. Texas, Cleveland. Looks like they'll probably late start this one, and then they should be good to go. Game 2 for the White Sox in Detroit. I think they're going to play. I'm not worried about a postpone risk, but there will be rain. And then Miami, New York, this is the one we really want to pay attention to because I love Wheeler. It looks like by around the game when the game should start, they should be the rain should be stopping from what the rain is going. Like right now, I believe it's probably raining there now. But yeah, it's looking like there shouldn't be we could see if they delay the game before it starts. If they announce a late start, that's fine, right? But if they're still we'll have to look at it a little closer to lock. If they're looking like they could delay the game shortly after the start of the game, then obviously we're not going to want Wheeler. But I'm going to act as if they're going to late start it or they're going to play it and be fine. Winds blowing in Chicago. That's a bump to pitching, of course. What's up, Killer Cam Sports Clips? What's up, man? Baez a shortstop. You're good. We can hear you. All right. Just buy a gallon from her. Don't take her game away. Yeah, no. That's what I told her. I was like, man, bring like $40 or something, buy a gallon or whatever. Because I gave her a $10 bill for 2 cups of lemonade, and she was charging 50 cents a piece. So she definitely made some tip off of me. I want a gallon of that shit. Cam, what games do you think get postponed? New York, Baltimore has a good chance of being postponed. But yeah. Lots of East Coast weather concerns today. Yeah, there is some weather today, as I just mentioned with the weather issues. We got to keep an eye on the Mets one, obviously, because we want Wheeler. So let's go ahead and talk. Okay, so it says, is there a cheap stack to pair with Wheeler and Greinke? Yes. One of the stacks that I'm interested in, cheap stacks that I'm interested in, is San Diego. San Diego's interesting to me for sure. That's really where I'm wanting to do it. I mean, obviously you've got some Giants that are still fairly priced, but I kind of like Anibal Sanchez as SP2 today. So yeah, San Diego probably would be the one I'd be most interested in. Detroit is pretty cheap. You could do that as well. You could go with White Sox or Detroit because, like I said, that both pitchers in that game are horrible. So both offenses should be able to do okay, and they're damn near free. So Detroit White Sox are great. Drop a like down below if you haven't already. Did y'all cash yesterday? We split. We ended up splitting on DK yesterday. Fanduel cashed. Fanduel was great again yesterday. So it's just right back to the street. I'm not going to we split, so I'm not going to count that as a win. So the streak is over for DK, but we're starting it right back up tonight. You already know. Thoughts on Puig tonight? Puig is fine. I honestly haven't been putting him in many of my lineups today, but he's definitely fine at only 4-4 going against Gerardo. It's definitely a solid matchup for him. So yeah, I can definitely see him having a great game here. So when we look at Puig, he mashes righties with a 224 ISO. And Gerardo struggles versus righties. So it's a great spot for the righties here. It's great for Puig, great for Franmil, Reyes. Reyes has a 296 ISO versus righties, so don't sleep on Reyes as well. So those two guys in there. Favorite SP2 is Anibal Sanchez, probably. Anderson versus Pittsburgh is interesting. Anderson versus Pittsburgh is definitely interesting because we all know what the deal is with Pittsburgh. Obviously, I wish Anderson was a lefty because Pittsburgh's worse versus lefties. They don't strike out near as much versus righties. But Anderson has a solid K rate. So that's fine. Anderson's fine. I'd rather Anibal, though. It's raining here in Cleveland, Cam. Yeah, keep an eye on it. It's looking like it should play, though. And I think bats are fine. What it do? Best plays from the Red Sox stack. Okay, so if you want to stack up the Red Sox today, the way to go for a Red Sox stack is going to be Rafael Devers. I love. Mookie Betts left the game yesterday, but it looks like he's in the lineup, so that's good. You definitely want, like, looking at Junas's numbers, he actually kind of has reverse splits. Like, he's a little bit slightly better versus lefties than he is righties. He gives up a 213 ISO versus righties, strikes out less versus righties, has a higher fly ball rate versus righties. Hard contact he has to both sides. So honestly, if you're I love Brock Holt batting 5th. He moved up the order. That's a great spot for him to be batting. So yeah, Betts, Devers, JD, Benintendi, Holt. Those are the guys. Mitch Moreland's going to be slept on because he's batting 7th. I love Mitch. He's got a 318 ISO versus right-handed pitching. Dude's got major power versus righties, so definitely consider Moreland as well. I live here. It's raining until midnight, they say. Yeah, they should be able to play through it, though. That's what I was saying. They should be able to play through it. Yeah, it's looking like a late start. Top stacks, Cam. All right. So the stacks that I'm mainly interested in today on this slate is I really do like Cleveland against Gerardo, especially the righties like we talked about, Puig, Franmil Reyes, those guys. Cleveland has had the biggest jump out of anybody on the Vegas charts today. All the smart money's going to Cleveland. Their total raised from a 5.7 to a 6.3. So I definitely like them. Obviously, the Yankees are in play if they play that game, but we're running a risk of them not playing that game today. Um, Another option is Boston, obviously. Um, Honestly, paying up for pitching, probably going like Wheeler and then another beast pitcher. You know what I'm saying? And going like Detroit stack would be completely fine because Detroit's total is opened up at a 5.3, is now at a 5.5, and they're never that high, ever. Okay, Detroit's total is never that high, so I definitely like that. Um, so yeah, I'm thinking Greinke. Pairing Greinke with Wheeler is probably the best way to go if you're paying up for pitching, and then I would stack up Detroit. Sleeper stack. Bichetti been on fire. He has Kipnis too. Yeah, playing on the night slate. Your thoughts on it? Okay, let me check on the night slate real quick. All right, so if we just zone in on the night slate, for pitching over here, I'm definitely leaning towards. I would go Anibal, Sanchez, and Kershaw. Most likely, I would go Anibal and Kershaw, and then for the bats, I would try to get the value of some of these, like Jock Peterson at only 4,000. Make sure you get him in. Brandon Belt at 3.6 is solid. Luis Urias, righty lefty, smashes lefties. They're going against LeBlanc, so I expect him to be in the lineup. 2.7, get him in. So there you go. How much is Greinke on DK? Greinke over on DK isn't that crazy. It's over 9,000. Let me verify real quick though. Greinke's 9.8, so it's fairly up there. But if the weather if it looks like it's going to be a late start in New York and they're going to play and it's going to be all good, then I love Wheeler and Greinke together. Those are my spend up pitchers that I love. This slate isn't one of those slates where you absolutely have to pay up because look, the top total in the Yankees, they're dealing with a ton of weather issues, right? And then Cleveland next up, they're not incredibly expensive. So definitely get some Cleveland exposure. I've already talked about I love Manny Machado. I love Hunter Renfroe. I like this Urias guy as a value at second base for San Diego as well. Sprinkle in some San Diego, get some Detroit, and you should be able to do it just fine. You should be able to do it just fine. If, let's say, Wheeler doesn't play, let's say the rain's too bad and you don't want to play Wheeler. That's where the issue comes in. You still go Greinke. You're definitely going to want Greinke because Colorado on the road is garbage. I'm thinking you probably end up going Greinke and Anibal, to be honest. Greinke and Anibal or Chase Anderson, like we talked about before. I mean, he is only 6K with his strikeout rate. He's got a really good strikeout rate. Now, Pittsburgh doesn't strike out a ton versus righties, but the dude's got a solid K rate. He's not in Milwaukee, so he's getting a park upgrade, leaving Milwaukee for sure. He's got a solid K rate versus both lefties and righties. He does have the reverse splits where he struggles more versus righties than he does lefties. But this lineup's most likely going to have Frazier, the lefty, Reynolds batting lefty, Marte, righty, Colin Moran, lefty, Miguel Cabrera, lefty. Melky Cabrera, sorry. So you're going to have like 4 lefties in this lineup for sure because Moran, Cabrera, Reynolds, and Frazier are going to be in the lineup. Okay, so really all you have to worry about is Ozuna, Marte. I'm not too worried about Newman or Diaz. They don't hit righties well either. So yeah, I mean, I could definitely see Chase Anderson as a value over Anibal for sure. Yeah, and Bell. Bell is another lefty. I'm not seeing him in the projected lineup though. Did he get hurt or something? Did he get hurt or something? I'm not seeing him in the projected lineup. Anybody have information on Josh Bell? All right. Do you like Polanco at shortstop tonight? I like my boy Manny Machado at shortstop tonight. Righty lefty. The man on a mission, Cam. Been out for a week. Glad you're still at it, bro. You already know, Rhythm Beast. I stay at it, man. Greinke versus the Rockies. Hell yeah. You stacking Cleveland and cash? I'm totally fine with it, yes. Cam, look deeper into the Nat stack. Menace for me, bro. Okay. I'm going to look into a Nat stack. Okay, yeah. So you just repeated it again. So I got you. I got to do it right now. So let me look at a Washington stack that you mentioned. Let's break that down real quick, see what we're going. So yeah, this Menez guy, the Menez kid, I mentioned him in the high five, right? He's got a super small sample size because he hasn't pitched much, right? But what we do know is he's got a very good K rate versus righties. Issue is he gives up a huge WOBA, a huge ISO, and a huge fly ball rate to righties. Like, it's ugly. Oh, it's very ugly. Menez could be solid, yes, because this player hasn't really prepared for him much. They don't know much about the kid, and a lot of times that can work out well for him. So Menez is fine. I think Chase Anderson's still a little better, though. Cesar Hernandez or Luis Urias? I'm thinking Urias. Cam, give me a better first base catcher than Grandal. All right, so obviously you're talking about Fanduel, so let me switch over to Fanduel real quick. So if you want somebody other than Grandal, my girlfriend should be going to get my lemonade, so I'm hype about that. I'm very hype about that. That girl's lemonade, man. Whew. All right. So, I love Mike Ford. If that game is going to play. I love Mike Ford, lefty-righty against Wojciechowski. Jesus Aguilar is great. Jock Peterson at 3-1 can be played. Like, it's definitely not one of those situations where you have to play Grandal at all. You definitely don't have to play Grandal at 3-2. There's multiple options. Like I said, look, if New York plays, I love Mike Ford at 2-3. Jock Peterson at 3-1, I'd even probably prefer over Grandal. So, there you go. Probably not. We don't love doing preseason just because you never know what can happen. I mean, if we feel like just having some fun and playing it, then sure. You still have me hooked on cash games. Thanks, by the way. Best cash stacks. Cash games is super. Hey, man. Everybody who plays cash games, good for you. More consistent, probably profiting more overall at the end of the year. Best cash stack, though, I'm thinking Cleveland mixed in with a little San Diego, sprinkled in with a little Detroit maybe, and pay up for a pitcher. My favorite overall as of right now, after seeing how the bats are priced today, I'm really loving like a Greinke Wheeler if we get Wheeler. Now, obviously, we got to pay attention to the weather. If we get Wheeler, then yeah, Wheeler and Greinke together, and then get some Cleveland like Puig, Reyes, mainly the righties because this dude sucks versus righties. So Puig and Reyes are home run targets for sure. And then get some Detroit and San Diego in there because Detroit's super cheap and their total is super high, which we never see. So that's a good sign. Greinke, Sanchez, Hicks, Peterson, Urias, Suarez, Machado. Love Suarez. Judge. Yeah, I love it. Who's your daddy? Love it. Looks good. Like any Mariners tonight. I actually haven't looked at too much Mariners tonight, actually. Let's look at them right now. Let's look at Seattle right now and see what we're thinking right now. So I mentioned I'm on San Diego, so let's take a look at the other side of the ball here. Now, Lamet struggles versus lefties. He's got a solid K rate versus lefties and righties, though. 24% K rate versus lefties, 32% K rate versus righties. The thing that sticks out the most with him is to lefties. He has he doesn't get the ball hit in the air too much, which you want the ball to be hit in the air for home runs and shit like that, right? Against righties, he gives up over a 50% fly ball rate. So that kind of makes you think like, okay, like Santana's in a great spot. You know, the lefties are in great spots too because this dude gives up a 372 WOBA versus lefties, but they're going to be more line drives than they're going to be up in the air. So don't expect like a whole bunch of home runs from the lefties, but there could be a bunch of base hits. They could fill the bases, get some runs. They could be a little pesky. But this dude's got a solid K rate, and he could definitely K a ton of these Seattle guys. I mean, this lineup for Seattle strikes out like 35% of the time versus righties. It's ugly. It's ugly. So consider Lamet in GPP, to be honest. Still like Yamamoto as SP2. Yamamoto's still a decent option to me, honestly. Dodgers lefties are completely fine as well. Mentioned Jock Peterson, love him. Muncy, of course. Bellinger, of course. Bo Bichetti or go elsewhere. So the question today is stick with Bo Bichetti because he's been like the best hitter of all time, or do we get off of Bo Bichetti? To be completely honest with you, he has been absolutely amazing. I haven't had him in a ton of my lines. If I'm going to be real with you, I haven't been falling on him in a ton of my lines. Yarbrough is going to be the main dude, and Yarbrough's just not a bad pitcher. Don't get me wrong, Bichetti's fine. But, I mean, at 4.2, his price is kind of... There's other guys I kind of prefer, to be honest with you. But he's fine. I mean, I'm not going to hate on it. Well, who's your daddy? Make sure you pay attention to the New York game because Judge could end up being postponed. But that's about it. Yeah, everybody else looks good. What about Tampa Bay bats? Shit, what was up with that? All right. Let's look at the Tampa Bay stack real quick. Let's break that down. Look inside of that. See what we think about that. All right. So, Tampa Bay going against Toronto at home in Tampa Bay. Obviously, it's a pitcher-friendly ballpark. They're going against Trent Thornton, which Thornton is a very bad pitcher. He's not good. He gives up a big ISO, over 220 ISO to lefties, over 340 WOBA to lefties. So lefties definitely get the best of him. He's got an okay K rate. He strikes out slightly over 20% of lefties and righties. But Tampa Bay just... I mean, they strike out 23% of the time versus righties. I'm not expecting Thornton to run through them here at home in Tampa Bay. So I'm expecting the lefties to be great. G-Man Choi, Austin Meadows mainly. Austin Meadows is my favorite bat on this Tampa Bay team at a 264 ISO versus righties. Meadows is great. Even Aguilar. I mean, if you look at the fly ball rate, Thornton's got a huge fly ball rate, over 40% to righties compared to a 36 to lefties. So home runs could happen for righties as well. So Aguilar's cheap. So yeah, Choi, Meadows, Aguilar, Sogard, Kiermaier. Those guys are the guys you'd want in a Tampa Bay stack, and that's completely fine. Brock Holt at second base, give me a spot. Brock Holt's completely fine. I mentioned him earlier. I definitely like it. Soler, Judge. Yeah, I mentioned on the video last night, I love Jorge Soler today. And I'm going to explain to you guys why. I know I mentioned it a little bit, but look. Cashner is horrible versus right-handed bats. He's that reverse split guy, right? Horrible versus right-handed bats. Now, Hunter Dozier and Soler are both righties, and they mash righties. All right, Soler has a 292 ISO versus right-handed pitching. And Cashner is horrible versus righties, man. 211 ISO, 361 WOBA versus righties. Like, righties get to him badly. He doesn't strike any out. He strikes out 14% of righties he faces. So, yeah, Soler's in a great spot, man. Love it. For the late game, stack only Padres, righties, and yes, that's what I'm sticking to. Who is projected catcher for San Diego tonight? The guy that we're expecting to catch for San Diego is Hedges, I believe. I believe it's going to be Hedges, righty-lefty against LeBlanc. Hey, Cam, I like two-man pairings of multiple offenses. Any recommended duos I think of with upside? Hey, Cam, I like two-man pairings of multiple offenses. Okay, so get Puig and Reyes are both home run threats for Cleveland. They're good Cleveland guys with the power. For upside, like in GPP, if you're playing GPP and you're going for pure upside, Puig and Reyes definitely have that. They both have a ton of pop. They're going against a guy who can't get righties out, struggles versus righties. So, yeah, those two for Cleveland. Those are my main two, man. And then sprinkle in, like I said, go Machado, Renfro. I like Reyes, Puig, Machado, Renfro on those two too. Any thoughts on red stack for GPP? That's fine. Yeah, I love Suarez today. Love Suarez. Let's break that offense down a little bit because I do kind of like Cincinnati. Let's break that down a little bit. I do love some Cincinnati bats today against Suarez. Now, Suarez hasn't been horrible, but when it comes to strikeout rate, he's very good versus lefties. So I'm not going to be playing any lefties versus him. He's been very good against them. But I do want righties. 257 ISO and a 423 WOBA versus right-handed bats. So Senzel, Suarez, Aquino, Irvin, Iglesias, like these guys are in a great spot, and I feel like they actually are going to be slightly slept on. I think when it comes to stacks today, they're not going to be as popular as others. I mean, Vegas has gone down from a 5.9 to a 5.2. I don't know exactly what would cause them to drop that significantly, but yeah. Thoughts on the Giants pitcher? I feel a little better on picking on that young boy than I do playing him, but you can play him in GPP. That's fine. Best stacking pitchers on fan. I'll get to this. Verhagen, too uncomfortable. Yes, too uncomfortable. Detroit stack. All right, so guys I like on Detroit. So we talked about earlier, some White Sox guys and some Tigers guys are good guys to get for value. Are good guys to get for value. All right, so when it comes to the Detroit stack, you definitely want the lefties. Santiago's a reverse split guy. He's bad versus righties and lefties, but he is dreadful versus lefties. Okay, he's not going to face any. To be real, he's going to face all righties, which is good for him, to be honest. But he gives up a set. Like, look, this is a small sample size because Santiago hasn't pitched a bunch. But in the limited sample size that he has pitched, he's given up over 70% fly balls to righties. Y'all know how ridiculous that is? Every damn hit is in the air. So that's not good for him at all. So, yeah, I mean, Miguel Cabrera is the main guy because he's throughout his whole career has done well versus lefties. Dixon's in a great spot. Cabrera, Dixon, Goodrum. Those are my three favorite. This Detroit offense is not beautiful to look at, to be honest. So I'm going to look at some White Sox on the other side, some guys who are also cheap. Verhagen is absolutely garbage as well. Both pitchers in this game are garbage. Now, you kind of want to lean a little bit more towards the righties against Verhagen than the lefties, but the lefties are good too. I mean, the difference is the ball gets hit in the air a whole lot more versus righties than against lefties for Verhagen. So you can go righties and lefties, though. Don't even worry too much about it. So you definitely want to get Jimenez in your lineups because he mashes righties with a 237 ISO versus righties. Jose Abreu hits a 216 ISO versus righties. Goins, lefty righty, batting like second in the order. He's a good value guy. So yeah, get all the White Sox, all Detroit you want, and spend up for pitching, and that's completely fine with me. Machado and Peterson are not locks. I would say Machado is a lock. Okay, I would say Machado. And who was the other bet that I've been pretty much putting in? And probably Urias as a value on that San Diego offense as well is pretty much locked for me at his price. So Urias is only 2.7. He's got the righty-lefty matchup against LeBlanc. Okay, so I'm expecting him to be in the lineup. Obviously, I'll keep an eye on that. But Urias, righty-lefty matchup against LeBlanc at only 2.7. So Machado and him are pretty much going to be in a lot of my versions tonight. I love both of them. They're going against a bad lefty, man. So don't sleep on Machado at all. You don't want to sleep on that. And Urias is just a cheap guy. Machado, Urias, Renfro in that order. I'd probably go Who is texting me while I'm live? Machado, Urias, Renfro in that order. Maybe Machado, Renfro, Urias. I do love Renfro. I think he's going to get a home run, bro. Shout out Devon the Stat Man. Just texted me some motivational stuff real quick. Von the Stat Man be texting me some motivation sometimes. Love it. I have all three in my stack. Yeah, no, they're fine. They're fine. If you're stacking San Diego, you definitely want to get Machado, Urias, and Renfroe. Those guys definitely. Cleveland, we love Puig, we love Reyes, like we talked about. Love the righties for Cleveland. Oh shit, time flew today. I need to give y'all the home run calls. Let's get to the home run calls real quick. You know what I'm curious of? I'm curious why I don't have a lemonade yet. Because my girl said she was going to go back to the little girl's lemonade stand and get some lemonade, but I don't have no lemonade in my hand. So, and I'm kind of parched. You know what I mean? I didn't even bring a water in here today because Kroger's not sponsoring me. So I shouldn't even do it. All right, here we go. All right, home run calls, guys. I mentioned them in the high five video already. Some of them have changed, some of them maybe not. I still am all over New York guys against Asher if that game plays. It's a very hitter-friendly ballpark. Manny Machado, Hunter Renfroe, JD Martinez, Cody Bellinger, all the lefties, Cody Bellinger, Jock Peterson, Max Muncy. Eugenio Suarez, I absolutely love at third base. The key for me is to get Suarez and Machado in damn near every lineup, I think, to be real with you. I think Machado and Suarez are going to be guys I'm really focused in on. Pitching, you want to pay attention to whether Wheeler's going to pitch or not. If Wheeler's going to pitch, then Wheeler and Greinke, I think, is completely fine. You don't have to spend up for at-bats today, especially with the top stack overall, which have the most expensive bats, having a postponed chance. Anyway, let's keep going. Max Kepler against Foltynewicz. Fernando Tatis is in a great spot always against the lefty. Already mentioned Jock Peterson. Love him. Rougned Odor, lefty-righty against Plesac. I just spit on myself. Mike Ford is a cheap home run call. Lefty-righty against Asher. If that game plays, pay attention to that. Franmil Reyes. Yasiel Puig. I've been talking about those two guys. Those guys I'm definitely interested in. Brandon Dixon is interesting for Detroit. I don't love his price at 4-1 though, but he could definitely hit a home run. And then I'm going to end it on Jorge Soler. I already talked about Soler and Devers. I got to put Devers in there because Devers going to home run as well. All right. Those are the home run calls. Desclafani, I'll pick on Desclafani. I don't mind it. Let's look at that real quick. Let's look at who we pick on with Desclafani against Desclafani. All right, so Desclafani is horrible versus lefties. Plain and simple. No need to overthink it. Lefties are absolutely smashed Desclafani. So Brian Goodwin is batting third. Totally fine with him. The Thace kid, batting sixth for LA is completely fine too. 298 ISO for him. Trout mashes righties. So yeah, LA stack is completely fine against Desclafani as well. And remember, LA is getting a park upgrade going to Cincinnati. It's more of a hitter-friendly ballpark. So I'm completely fine with them in GPP. Gut feeling on whether for Mets game, I think they play. Possible late start and play. Thoughts on a Mets stack? I'm not stacking the Mets today. In GPP, you can do anything your heart desires. For twin bats, let's take a look at the Twins real quick because you guys have mentioned the Twins a few times versus Foltynewicz, and I haven't really talked about it. So I love it because the dude, Foltynewicz, is bad versus lefties and righties. I hate to say. He doesn't really strike guys out. He has a huge fly ball rate versus lefties, gives up a 300 ISO to lefties, a 260 ISO to righties, 382 WOBA to lefties, 373 WOBA to righties. Horrible. He's just bad versus righties and lefties. So, yeah, I mean, stack Kepler, Polanco, Cruz, Rosario, Garver. Sano mashes righties as well with a 257 ISO, but I would stick with Kepler, Polanco, Cruz, Rosario, and Garver. Garver mashes righties, 302 ISO versus righties. So if you want to stack up Minnesota, that's the way to go. All of their bats are going to be expensive, though. Devers or Suarez? Suarez for the price. She probably is drinking my lemonade. Best cheap pitcher. I think it's probably Chase Anderson at only 6K. I mean, he's got the best K rate possible. I know Pittsburgh doesn't strike out much, but he has a solid K rate. Do me a favor. Drop a like down below if you haven't already. If you hate me, drop a dislike. Either way, drop something. Be active. Don't just stare at me. I appreciate you guys for joining me as always. Cub stack. Castellanos is great. I love Castellanos tonight as well. Thank you guys for joining me as always. Drop a like down below, man. I got to get back onto this slate. gotta get back to grinding. You feel me? Gotta go get me some lemonade real quick from that little girl's lemonade stand because she's fucking killing the game. Appreciate y'all for joining me as always. Drop a like down below before you head out for your boy. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I was about to say subscribe to the channel twice, back to back. Hit the notification so it lets you know when I do these live shows. Appreciate y'all for joining me, man. Let's kill it tonight. Greenlightdfs.com. Drop a like before you head out for me. If you're watching this replay, I appreciate you for watching the replay. And let's kill it tonight. Greenlightdfs.com. I'm out.